I have a lot of respect for wood turners, especially those guys that spend hours and hours putting together a project of segments, trying to turn out a work of art. And I admit I'm not a wood turner, but I would strongly recommend you take a look at the way I would do things if I was going to put together rings for a bolt. The first thing I'd do would be to mount some sort of a support panel on the opposite side of the blade. And you want to bring your blade up through that. You don't want it hitting the edge of the platform or anything, but you want no clearance on either side. I pulled the stop system out of the Dubby. The illustration we're going to do for wood turning is going to be a 12-sided ring. So all we have to do is go to the 12 line, lock it down. This is a piece of basswood. We made this up. It's 2 1/4 wide, a little over a ½ inch thick. And you notice I've got dowels mounted on the back side of it. What we're going to do, since the stop is out, is we're going to slide those dowels into the channel the stop system would normally go into. Okay. And I want to bring it in far enough initially where I can bring my blade up and cut the end of that board off. Now, according to the book Polygons, and we're going to try to do a ring up that be about 8 3/8 or so in diameter, and according to the book, to do that, each segment would be 2 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right off the cut I just made, and I'm going to go 1/16 of an inch less. I'm going to go at 2 3/16. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to line that mark at the outside, this side, of the saw blade, and we're going to take a Phillips, we're going to tighten down that support board. I'm going to lower my blade, and we're going to set the blade height a little bit strong of the face of the material, and we're going to cut the end off that piece. We would come off that point, mark our 2 1/4. And just to simplify things, we have a little right angle stop we made out of scrap. I'm going to clamp that to my fence. We're going to line our dimension mark, the 2 1/4, to the outside of the blade. That looks good. And we're going to bring this in until our piece touches it. Now, I don't know whether you can notice on camera, we have about 1/16 of an inch gap between the end of our support piece here and that right angle stop. So to make our 12 segments, all we have to do, we cut, we flip. We have our 12 pieces cut. dry fit the ring. We take those. You notice there's almost no tear out on these. That's because we have the material backed up on the back side and also on the underside. So there's really no place for the fibers to tear into. And if you're into wood turning, you're really going to appreciate this method because you don't have to go in and sand all the fuzz and everything you would if you were working in a different way. Let me line that up a little better. Now another thing you can do, if we alternate species, we would form a checkerboard type ring. Flatten them out a little. And right there, my friends, is a perfect 12-sided ring in a couple of minutes. So rather than spend hours and hours to get your pieces cut for a bowl, you can spend a few minutes and have the same thing done.